Sam Altman is in India again. Remember, Sam Altman had previously mocked India's ability to develop low-cost, large-scale AI models like the ChatGPT and called India's will to try to be absolutely hopeless.
On June 2023, at a conference at Delhi, someone asked Sam Altman, if Indian team decide to start with $10 million and a desire to build a foundational AI model, do we have a chance? And this is what he replied.
But if you want to build foundational models, how should we think about that? Where is it that a team from India, three super smart engineers with, not 100 million, but let's say 10 million, could actually build something truly substantial?
Look, the way this works is we're going to tell you it's totally hopeless to compete with us on training foundation models. You shouldn't try, and it's your job to try anyway.
And this statement sparked a complete outrage among Indians. Thousands of articles exploded, comments flooded, and everybody in India was hating Sam. The intensity and motivation was so high that Tech Mahindra CEO challenged Sam that they will create their own foundational AI model within India and prove him wrong. But fast forward to today, India still hasn't built a full-scale foundational AI that can compete with giants like ChatGPT and DeepSeek. But at the same time, on January 2025, Chinese AI startup DeepSeek released its R1, a world-class reasoning model trained for just $6 million, which was much lower than ChatGPT's hundreds of million-dollar spending.
The release of DeepSeek AI from a Chinese company should be a wake-up call for our industries that we need to be laser-focused on competing to win.
Computer chip maker Nvidia plunged overnight after investors became concerned by a cheap Chinese artificial intelligence program called DeepSeek.
Tech stocks selling off today on the emergence of China's new AI app DeepSeek.
The influence was so high that America lost over $1 trillion from its stock market value within just 24 hours. So now the real question is, why is India behind in this AI race? Is the problem talent? No, because we house 16% of world's AI talent. Or is the problem adoption? Still no, because we are among the largest users of AI. So if India has talent, if India has users, if same Indians are leading global tech companies, then why are we still behind in building core AI models? To understand this, let me tell you a story. Meet Rohan, a curious 7-year-old kid who loves to open his toys just to see how it works. Once he even took apart his new remote control car just to make a small fan out of that motor, thinking he invented something new. In the middle school, even teachers called him creative but distracted. By class 9th, something changes. Marks started mattering more than curiosity. Teachers welcomed question, but only the ones that come in exams. Experimenting becomes risky because it wasted the study time. And slowly he learned asking too many questions was risky, and the safest way forward was to do exactly what exams wanted. By class 11th, Rohan was told with two options: either prepare for high competitive exams or go for government jobs. His curiosity hasn't died yet, but it has gone silent. Soon he becomes good at solving problems that already had answers, but he didn't know how to build answers that don't exist. In our education system, what is usually missing is real exposure of building, experimenting, and developing skills that match what modern industries actually need. And this is one of many reasons why India has 30% of educated unemployed youth. Years later, Rohan manages to become a strong programmer and decided to join an AI startup with a dream to build his own AI company. After 2 months of research, he realized that all the fund he had collected has already been used, and the estimate cost of running further research and training is massive. Rohan builds an early model and turns up to investors. There, investors asked him, how soon will this make revenue? Can you build something smaller first? Why not build tools on top of existing model instead? The problem is in India, we don't support innovation, and deep tech needs patient money. Money that can wait 5 to 10 years without guaranteed success. If you compare the funding raised alone in 2025, US based AI companies raised over $121 billion, whereas Indian AI just $643 million. That too, majority of the money going to application led companies, not core AI companies. And while in countries like US and China, 75% of R&D budget comes from private companies, here in India this number is just 36%. And to be honest, Indians are building great AI companies, just not in India. Pipeshift, an Indian AI startup which moved to US after struggling months for funding, their founder highlighted two problems. First, investors in India don't understand this AI space. And second, it is quite easier to find takers in the US. That's why in just last few months or so, over 100 Indian AI startups shifted to the US. And even if Rohan's team somehow manages funding, the third wall is lack of compute infrastructure. See, the modern AI is no longer just software race, but it is hardware plus chips plus energy with a strong supply chain. And training foundational model need massive GPU cluster with a stable access. And India has just started building it. We recently hit 38,000 GPUs. That too, compute power being provided at a subsidized cost of 65 to 100 rupees per hour, which is lower than the global average. But the scale gap is still large. Even India's AI chief says 40,000 GPUs is not enough for our AI ambition. Even today, when semiconductor is the new gold mine, we still import 95 to 99% of our chips. But ironically, India has 20% of world's best chip design engineers. That's why every other giant like Intel, AMD, Qualcomm has their largest design centers outside US within India. And recently at Qualcomm Bangalore, Indian engineer designed the upcoming 2 nanometer chip, which is a great achievement itself. But ultimately the IP and the core value belongs to Qualcomm, not India. Now, to be fair, it's not like India is doing nothing to catch up. In fact, we had already launched various schemes to support startup and innovation, like Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, India Semiconductor Mission, and initiatives like India AI Mission allotting $1.25 billion just for AI. So the government is trying somewhere, but the question is, are these enough? Because US just announced $500 billion on AI infrastructure plan. China is investing $47.5 billion in semiconductors alone. Even France and Saudi Arabia committed for over 100 billion on AI. So when someone asks why India still hasn't built a world-class foundational model yet, it's not really a question of intelligence or talent. But the bigger gap is in how our education, funding, and infrastructure connects back with each other. And if we genuinely want to lead in AI, a few things needs to grow faster and deeper. Our education system needs to allow more space to building and experimenting, not just scoring. If we look at China, back in 2017 only, they had launched their plan to prepare students for upcoming AI race. And recently, by September 2025, even primary school kids are learning about artificial intelligence in China. Whereas in India, still today, every one out of three school lack proper computer and internet facilities. At the same time, investment in research and infrastructure needs to scale up because as an economy, we spend only 0.6% of our GDP on research and development, while top countries like US spends 3.6% and China 2.4. So if we want global level outcomes, the input needs to catch up. Ultimately, India is not hopeless because it has the talent, the ambition, and the energy. But the next phase depends on how well the ecosystem supports people who truly wants to build at the deepest level. And if you are wondering what happens to someone like Rohan when he actually tries to build a deep tech startup in this system, in this video I have covered the reality of ease of business in India and why talented are ultimately moving abroad. Watch this video, I'll see you there. Thank you.